Inspiration. Inspiration describes a person's receipt of ideas that do not come from memory, nor do they come from other people. David Lynch calls them fish, ideas that are swimming in the great ocean of spirit he has been able to catch. Sometimes they solve a problem the person has been mulling over. Sometimes they arrive unexpectedly without any apparent trigger, but still provide a person with the input they need to do something, often very original. The person puts their own stamp on this input, turning the idea into a book or painting, an invention, a film or poem. But although the end result is theirs, the impetus came from elsewhere, out of the blue. Nikola Tesla. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Navigating allabout.heaven.org to obtain more details on inspiration. Our website, allabout.heaven.org, can be used to obtain both a more detailed explanation of inspiration and thousands upon thousands of observations, examples of people who benefit from this type of experience. Nikola Tesla. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. Go to the home page and click on Observations. Click on Types. Now click on Inspiration. It will take several seconds to load this page because there are so many observations, and you are presented with an explanation. If you scroll down at the bottom, there are links to even more explanation on how inspiration works, the muses, inner speech, which provides us with proof of the existence of the spiritual world, and unusual functional ability. In addition, we have a great number of observations, examples, in alphabetic order. As the number of examples is very high, it is sometimes easier to pick a person and then select the one you require. Click on it and the full description will appear. An example. From Ingo Swann to Kiss the Earth Goodbye. In 1882, on a late February afternoon in the city park at Budapest, Tesla was strolling with a friend named Szigeti. He was recovering from a malady that was never successfully diagnosed by doctors, an illness that had nearly cost him his life. Overhead, a sunset was spreading across the evening sky in a majesty that must have been absolute. Tesla was reciting poetry, a favourite hobby. The sky apparently reminded him of some lines in Goethe's Faust, and with waving arms he gazed up to the setting sun and addressed some of Goethe's beautiful poetry. Suddenly, he fell into what appeared to be a moment of supreme concentration, from which his friend Szigeti was unable to remove him, even by shaking him physically. No one knows exactly what went on in Tesla's mind, or within the realms of his paranormal vision at that moment. The reports differ, but it seems likely that for a brief instant Tesla was able to perceive almost the totality of the electromagnetic functioning of the solar system. Prior to this experience, he had apparently been trying to solve the intricacies of a system of alternating current, and this seems to have been foremost in his mind. Certainly, descending from this moment of sublime cognition came the solution for this system, and he was able to construct one soon after. To this supreme moment, therefore, the world owes one of its most practical scientific discoveries. Tesla was to indicate later that not only the solution for the alternating current, but all his subsequent discoveries, as well as his dedication to bringing them about, had their origin in that brief moment when he went to the sun and saw how it worked. Inner speech. Inspiration rarely comes in words. Instead, it is supplied as inner speech and music. L.S. Vygotsky, Thoughts and Language. Inner speech is speech without words, while in external speech, thought is embodied in words. In inner speech, words die as they bring forth thought. Inner speech is to a large extent thinking in pure meanings. Inner speech appears to be the language of genius, and a genius, by definition, comes up with something no one has ever thought of before. Inner speech involves none of the five senses, but it may include symbols where they might help, and may be accompanied by images. Arthur Koestler, Janus, talking about pure blue sky inventions. In the decisive phase of the creative process, the rational controls are relaxed, and the creative person's mind seems to regress from disciplined thinking to less specialized, more fluid ways of mentation. A frequent form of this is the retreat from articulate, verbal thinking to vague, visual imagery. There is a naive popular belief that scientists arrive at their discoveries by reasoning in strictly rational, precise verbal terms. The evidence indicates that they do nothing of the sort. Jacques Hadamard's famous inquiry among American mathematicians showed that nearly all relied on visual imagery of a vague, hazy nature. The playlist. The playlist contains a tiny selection of people talking about what they did or do to receive inspiration and how it feels to them when they get these ideas. None uses drugs, but instead use methods that involve quiet and isolation away from distractions and involve nature, meditation, and sometimes relaxation. Robert Dan, a young musician, obtains considerable inspiration from simply enjoying nature. David Lynch, 3 videos, uses transcendental meditation. George Harrison, also used transcendental meditation, love for his family and nature, gardening. Beethoven was a manic depressive and tended to have his bouts of mania whilst communing with nature. D. Jablo Hirschman and Dr. Julian Lieb. Manic depression and creativity. Manic euphoria sometimes generates mystic states in which the manic feels filled with love, at one with all creation, and in touch with God. Beethoven's woodland manias were sometimes of this kind. He wrote in 1810, "It seems as if in the country every tree said to me, 'Holy, holy,' who can give complete expression to the ecstasy of the woods." Nigel Kennedy is inspired by the music he is playing and says that it then plays him. Dante. The Divine Comedy, Purgatorio 17. O faculty of imagination, which sometimes takes us so far out of ourselves that a man does not notice though 1,000 trumpets sound around him. Who moves you when the senses offer nothing? A light, which takes its shape in heaven, moves you, of its own, or by a will which directs it down